Hello, and I dare say, welcome back, friends. Now, before we begin the video, I should probably address the elephant in the room, and that is, why am I wearing this beanie? Even though it's May, it's still really cold here in Ohio. But not for long. Yes, I checked the 10-day forecast, and warmer days are a-coming. And when they do, I want you to be prepared with some swanky, summery clothes.
But Micarah,
you say,
I'm a complete hermit, and I haven't left my house in a year, and I don't want to go out and buy summer clothes.
Isn't there a way I can just
Turn my winter clothes into summer clothes?
Well, would you be surprised if I said yes, you can? Yeah! No, you probably wouldn't be surprised because you probably read the title to this video. So. Oh, but before that, I should probably address the other elephant in the room, and that is why my Christmas tree is still up. But I want to be respectful of your time. This video is already going to be kind of long. We'll address that a different time.
It's time to meet our ugly winter clothes. First on the cutting board, we have a plain button-up shirt. Perfect if you're an extra on The Office, but since that show doesn't exist anymore, we're going to cut it up. Then I will show you how to dismember and reassemble a simple long-sleeve knit shirt. Then we'll obliterate a long boring skirt and think about showing mercy to a flannel shirt, but ultimately decide not to. Lastly, we'll attempt to give new life to an old pair of pants by turning them into a romperish play suit. Starting with our office shirt, try it on inside out and then pin it to fit you snugly. Then mark out a neckline that resembles the shape of the seat of a folding chair. Upon removing that shirt and cutting out the seat shape, you will be left with a collarless garment that is no longer fit for the swanky private school that you attend. But don't panic, you can just be homeschooled instead. Now sew along the sides that you pinned earlier. If you aren't interested in people having a direct view down the front of your shirt, you may want to add some darts to the front of the neckline. Then do a rolled hem all along the neckline, aka your folding chair seat bottom.
Sorry, my neighbors are just a little rude. Like, they're always mowing their lawns in the middle of the day. Like, don't you know I'm working? Haven't you ever heard of, I don't know, the middle of the night? Guess I'll just have to do my voiceovers indoors like a hermit YouTuber. If I die of vitamin D deficiency, I want you all to go up to the guy who lives across the street from me and say, I forgive you.
Anyway, after hemming your neckline, you're going to cut out 2 pieces of elastic the length of a banana and pin them to the inside of the sides of your neckline, pulling as you go. Sew each of those in place and then amputate the bottom few inches of your sleeve. Then fold under and sew the bottom edge of those sleeves to create a channel for your elastic. Cut the elastic to be exactly the width of your buff, juicy arm and then thread it through the channel with a safety pin. Tie it in a knot if you know how. If not, ask one of your former Boy Scout neighbors and then voila, you're done.
It is currently 4:38 in the morning and I'm gonna work on some of this stuff. Now you're probably asking, why is it 4:38 in the morning? Well, I don't know. It just is. I don't decide what time it is. What a silly question. Now what you should be asking is, why am I working on this stuff at 4:38 in the morning? Well,
the following is a dramatized reenactment. Content may be triggering for some insomnia-prone individuals. Viewer discretion is advised.
At roughly 1 a.m. I went to bed.
The atmosphere was tired and sleep seemed perfectly feasible. Until...
Roughly 3:30 a.m. I realized, okay, this sleep thing is not gonna happen. And understand this, insomnia has a goal. Insomnia's goal is to keep you from being productive. So I was like, I'll show you insomnia. So I went on a run. It was a good run. I can't try to understand you.
Turns out 4 a.m. is an exceedingly ideal time to run, as the streets are completely empty and you get first dibs at any DIY-able trash left on the ground. I just found this copper wire stuff. I might try to make like a crown or something out of it.
And now I'm gonna work on some of this stuff until I get so tired that I can't sit upright.
For the plain knit shirt, you're going to cut out a groundhog's width of fabric from the bottom, widen the neckline considerably, and then remove a squirrel's length from the bottom of the sleeves. And I actually recommend you make your neckline a few inches wider than mine. I didn't make mine wide enough. Yes, even blondes make mistakes. Next, cut out 4 strips of fabric from the bottom piece that you cut out, 2 the size of a Twizzler and 2 the size of a tapeworm. Then pull and stretch them as hard as you can, rolling a little bit as you go. This will considerably expand the length of your tapeworms. And these are the pieces you should be left with. Nextly, fold up and pin an inch along the bottom, neckline, and both sleeves of your shirt.
All done. Now you have yourself a nice pokey shirt. Just kidding.
Sorry, not all jokes can be good ones. Sew all along those edges, cut a few slits, and thread those tapeworms and Twizzlers through.
Pretty soon here, my dad's gonna be getting up for work, and he's gonna come in and be like, what are you doing up? I'm crafting.
Tie up all your loose ends, and this project is done.
This was a much better use of my time than sleep.
Sleep is always a better use of your time.
Now to mutilate this skirt until it becomes a sundress. Cut off the hem and then set it aside. PSA, I am wearing a shirt in this next clip. You can't tell because I don't know how to work white balance, but I just wanted to clear the air. And you know, I didn't want this to be like that scene in Little Mermaid that everybody pauses on after she gets her legs and she's swimming to shore and everyone's like, is she wearing anything or isn't she? I've never paused it at that part. But now put the skirt on, dress on, put it on inside out and make it fit you. In this next scene, you'll see me looking for a pincushion, failing, and using an orange instead. I then sewed up that slit in the front and cut off the excess fabric from the sides. Then I returned my attention to the hem that I had cut off earlier and cut 4 pieces about the length of a woman's foot. Try the dress on and pin the front 2 straps where you want them. Then lay out the dress and pin the back straps directly behind the front ones. Sew the straps down securely, hem the bottom of your dress, and then assess the bronziness of your skin tone.
I am looking pretty pale. Oh, what luck. Oh, what luck. My tan just came in the mail. This is hard to hold. This note in the box with the tanning stuff says, know who you are, love who you are. Well, I know who I am. I'm pale. I'm supposed to love that? I wonder how many people return their tan stuff and ask for a refund because this note causes them to have an awakening. It's like, oh yeah, I love who I am now, so you can have your tan back. Forget that.
And now, to turn some pants into a monochromatic set, you're going to cut the pants off into shorts and then roll the bottom of the shorts up. Now cut along the edge of each pant leg and splay them out. If one pant leg is bigger than the other, well, that's peculiar and irrelevant. When cutting out the bodice, be careful if you're hopping up onto the table to do so because I did and hurt my leg really bad.
Look how bad I hurt my leg, guys. There's a bump. I mean, look how big around this bump is. Huge.
Now carefully climb up onto the table and safely cut out the shape of a high neck halter top. And unless you prefer your clothes to be ill-fitting, you may want to add a couple of darts to the top corners. Now finish all the edges with a rolled hem. Then try the garment on and assess whether more panels of fabric will be required to reach your optimal level of modesty. Harvest those pieces from your remaining pant leg and then attach them to the triangle-y bodice thing you just made. Fold the top down 1 Barbie skateboard width and sew it in place, creating a little tunnel. Now from your remaining fabric, cut out several strips and sew them all together to make one big strap. And in the meantime, I'm going to share with you some facts I found on Google about summer. Did you know summer is the hottest of the 4 seasons? Yeah, that one blew my mind too. And did you further know that in summer crickets get chirpy and that snow in June ... and height of summer ... Okay, either I don't know how to use Google or Google is having a mental breakdown or there are just no interesting facts about summer. Same thing goes for winter, although at first glance you would think otherwise because for some reason Google decided to make those results in all caps. Once you've made your gigantic strap, cut it into 3 equal length pieces, each the size of your favorite size of lamp. Then thread 1 through your Barbie skateboard hole and 1 to each of the outer corners of your bodice. Then give each of those straps a 2-inch haircut. Fold the little pieces you cut off into loops and place 1 under each of your straps and sew it in place. Oh, I did find a cool summer fact. Apparently on a hot day in summer in Paris, the Eiffel Tower can grow by up to 17 centimeters. Although really that means nothing to me because in case you haven't noticed, I have very little grasp on what actual measurements are. After crisscrossing those back straps and looping them through the back loops, I was done with this outfit and free to spend time with my dad. Although he was a little preoccupied trying to calm one of the ducks. I thought about letting you hear the audio here, but I don't want to exploit a precious grandfather-grand duck moment. Now lastly, before we get to the reveals, please join me in the obliteration of this flannel shirt. Now just as we did with that orange shirt so long ago, let's widen the neckline. Ah, marvelous. Now let's cut another beaver width off the bottom and create a channel for some elastic all along the top. Another summer fact for you, the hottest day ever recorded in the UK was 38 degrees Celsius, which sounds freezing to me because I'm from America where we use Fahrenheit and I was under the impression that Celsius referred to the lumpy skin one finds on one's thigh. Anyway, be sure to remove your pins as you go, sticking them into your pincushion or fruit of choice.
Yes, in the long run, this will make your pins rusty, but in the short run, it'll make them smell fantastic. And let's not underestimate the value of instant gratification.
Measure and cut a piece of elastic to fit the exact width of your shoulders and ribcage. Then snake the elastic through those tunnels, and when it starts poking its little head out, stop it in its tracks. Wedge it ever so slightly back into the little hole from whence it came and sew it in place. Now take your remaining fabric and cut it into a strip the size of a Laffy Taffy that a rat would eat if the rat were the size of a human. Now hem the bottom of that and then unbutton and splay out the little crop top that you made earlier because we're not leaving the crop top a crop top because we ain't like that at the Micarah shop. Although you really can leave it like that if you want, I won't judge you. While pinning the bottom part to the top, you're going to want to stretch the top as far as it can go and then pin. Also be sure that you're stretching and pulling when you sew the bottom to the top. Time for another obvious summer fact. Did you know that mosquitoes are most prevalent during the summer months? Of course you did. But did you know that I haven't been bitten by a mosquito in nearly 5 years? You're always saying you want me to make a getting to know me video, so consider this it.
I just got out of the shower and put on my fake tan, and I wanted to take this opportunity to give a heartfelt thank you to all my subscribers and viewers. There's a lot of people that view me that aren't subscribed to me, and you know, you guys don't get enough credit. Thanks. Anyways, but the cause for my current gratefulness is the way you guys have financially blessed me. I've been using this razor for over 3 years. 3 years and 6 months, actually. I don't think I've ever shaved with a brand new fresh razor. Honestly, I got this one when my brother's girlfriend left it here. I've never bought myself a razor. Thanks to you, I could finally afford to get a new one. Thank you.
Now it's time for our reveals, starting with the office shirt. In this shirt, you'll go from total Dwight to total delight. Our next DIY will take you from cold as an icicle to cool as a dreamsicle. In this skirt to dress transformation, you'll go from funeral attendee to drop dead gorgeous. For this next ensemble, I can't think of a pun for the life of me, so if you think of one, let me know and I'll add it to the description or something. For our final look, we'll take you from flannel to funnel cake. Get it? Because in the winter you wear flannel and the summer you eat funnel cakes.
By the way, that guy that just passed has looped around twice now. Do I have toilet paper on my shoe or something? Anyway, if you're wondering about this outfit, I made it pre-YouTube channel, and sometimes my pre-YouTube costumes I made get jealous of the ones that get their own videos, so I'm just trying to sneak them in. Why do I have so many neighbors?